Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with 2S ACC for yet another race in our 7th season. We are here at the circuit de Paul Ricard in France for the third round. It is gonna be a 60-minute race. We have got a total of 32 drivers for you on the grid today, and we've got a full commentary box after quite a while with me, Timo, as usual, and a new face in the booth. Hello, John. How are you doing?
Hello. Yeah, this is going to be a really exciting race. Paul Ricard is, it's, you either love it or you hate it, to be honest. But it has usually pretty good GT3 races, so it should be really exciting. And this rain that's coming in is definitely going to shake things up. It's going to make it a little bit more strategic to see, how long it holds out and, how the drivers are going to have to react to this. It could end up pretty crazy, or it could just make things a little bit more, tame. So we'll see how it ends up.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I'm a certified Paul Ricard simp. I really like the track, but I'm also a certified rain hater. So this is kind of a mixed bag for me. I don't really know what to expect, but yeah, as you say, it could get absolutely crazy. We could also get a bit more of a procession to the end, but there's only one way to find out, really. Now, looking at the qualifying results so far, we're 3 minutes from the end, so everyone's probably going to get like 2 more laps. But looking at the results so far, we've got Chris Witkowski in the Ferrari in first, and then it's Viktor Czerwinski, aka Vito, also in a Ferrari in P2, and then Ruben, who I thought signed out, but he's here nonetheless, which means we've got top 3 all Ferraris, and that's a little curious, because they were complaining their cars were unstable and everything, but they seem to be really fast in qualifying. That's interesting.
Yeah, especially with the rain. I guess the Ferraris, maybe their handling gets better in the rain. That is very interesting. Maybe. And we don't have our 2 guys that we expected at the top either.
Absolutely true. I was gonna get to that. We've got Brabner only in 5th and Salmonen in P7, so maybe those 2 in the Bentley are struggling with the rain. Of course, I'm not really familiar with the BOP, so I don't know which cars handle rain better than others. I just know the Lexus likes rain, but that's about it. Maybe the Bentley struggles. The Anne Salmonen gonna come across the line. He's got 2 more runs in him. This is not an improvement. It's actually far from it. And also, what is interesting to mention about these conditions, as Philip Ansel puts it second, by the way, is that the track is only classified as damp right now, so it's not outright wet. I believe these drivers are on dry tires. It's very close to the transition point, but it just means that maybe the laps set early in the session are really valuable, and Salmon and Brabner in 7 and 8 might be in trouble.
Absolutely, yeah. You're at that level where, it's kind of damp, there's some spots on the track that might have a little bit more moisture than others. Yeah, it's definitely very tricky, especially during the practice session where they were just getting to grips to it. We did see a lot of spinning around the track, so I think qualifying is, yeah, they have to set a really good time in order to, get as far up in the grid as possible, but they're also still getting used to the conditions, so it's still kind of a learning process right now for them.
Yeah, also, this is some professionalism. For me, the stream was unlisted until now, but all the rewatchers are still gonna hear us, that's fine. I just need to distribute the stream link out there. Yeah, 1 minute to go in the session. And now Higgins has put it in second, so we're seeing a lot of unfamiliar names at the front of the grid. The Mercedes coming alive, even though I've been told the Mercedes is absolutely terrible at Paul Ricard, maybe it likes the rain.
Yeah, and it's looking like we don't have that chicane that splits up the straight, if I'm right. So
yes.
That's gonna make a little, that part right there is slightly, technical. So taking that away, they have this really nice long straight. It is surprising that the Mercedes, because the Mercedes is very fast in a straight line, from my experience, so it is interesting that they're not doing too much better. We do have 1 in 17th, but Higgins he's in P2 right now, so yeah, it's very interesting.
Doesn't seem too bad. And about the BAP, I'm not sure. I heard someone complain today that something weird is going on with the Mercedes at Paul Ricard, that they're like really bad in the straight, and I remember that being a thing in like past seasons, so maybe that is just weird. Higgins does not seem to be improving on this lap, but maybe it's close. He is really close to Witkowski, so just finding a 10th could put him on the front spot of the grid right now, whereas Chris has just entered the back straight, so he's got plenty of time. Ansel also on the back straight, so these times are going to be flying in now. Chavinsky, Brabner and Ruben have abandoned their qualifying efforts though, so they won't be improving.
Yeah, and we do see it's a very mixed bag of different cars. We have, actually a little bit of everything.
Higgins goes first there. He's only found, what was that, like 200ths of a second, but it's just about enough to edge out Witkowski, who now has to find that crucial bit of time, the 3,000ths of a second in the final sector, which is quite the tough one, especially in the wet. I mean, already in the dry, it feels like you're just kind of navigating a boat around these corners, and now, you're literally swimming, so that adds on to it.
Witkowski is still out, so I think he's actively doing his last qualifying lap.
Yes, he should have one corner to go, and if he finds time on that, it should be pole for him, unless someone else comes in with a surprise. Salmonen still on a run, by the way, but he's not improving. There goes Witkowski, and across the line, he does. Does he improve? I think he does. Yes, and it is provisional pole for him. Ansel across the line as well. I think the only ones still challenging are Veltman and Salmonen, really, and they don't, so that's the end of qualifying already.
Wow, look at that. Yeah, he brought a whole 10th back into the lap. So that's pretty crazy, right at the last minute.
Yep. We're going for a little bit of a grid walk, so I'm just gonna run down that. I'm just preparing the standing so I know
muted.
What's going on there. Okay, so for our race at Paul Ricard, that's not the right camera angle, amazing. There you go. This is the grid walk. So we've got Chris Witkowski. I've doubted him a little bit after his first two appearances this season. Didn't seem too good, but now he finds himself in an almost uncontested pole, contested maybe only by Gareth Higgins. Also coming kind of out of nowhere, silver class driver last time, finds himself in P2. Then Philip Ansel, also unexpected. I don't think he's ever been on the second row of the grid, finds himself in P3. Then Ruben van den Hudding, the second Trigon Racing driver, in P4. Viktor Chavinsky has sweated a lot for this track and gets rewarded with a P5. Then we've got our current champion, George Brabner, in P6 out of Nico Veldman in the Mercedes. Tough one at Alton Park, but good pace at Paul Ricard apparently. Then Sam Chumley, our Season 2 champion, is in 8th. Championship leader Janne Salmonen is in P9 in the Bentley. Maybe he can't deal with the rain as well as he would like to. Then Jack Colley leads silver class in P10 out of Ben Loos, both McLarens. Then another McLaren, Forrest McCormack, P12 in as a reserve. And Da Silva is, I think, a new boy. I don't think I've seen him before. He's 13th, ahead of Antoine Olivet, the teammate of George Brabner, who is 14th. Then 15th, Romse Jensen. Then Federico Baragnolo in 17. Christian Stricker in 17. Paulos Tarkos, P18. Michael Österholm, 19. This is a challenge. Giajura. I'm gonna get more DMs after this. Is in P20 out of Bas Kessel. Then Björna Bjelland in 22nd. Marvin Betch in the pink Ferrari in P23. Oliver Stricker is 24th in the Bentley. Then we've got, I think this is Smelt, but I'm running out of leaderboard, so let me actually check. Jasper Smelt P25 out of Michal Reinoa in 26th. Ryan Noppen 27. Kennedy Chikeka, nice to see him again as well, in P28. Jack Bedell 29. Andrew Moulton, Karol Chmielewski, and Jurien Visser, and that's our grid. Man, these names, it's a challenge every single time. So
yeah, these guys come from all over the world. It's pretty special that we have the technology and opportunity that you can be sitting in your bedroom or your living room, and you can be driving people that are across the world, over the internet. It's pretty wild. It's really kind of special, especially during these COVID times, in order to just have a little bit of relaxation and interaction with other people. It's pretty cool.
It's a very positive spin on me not being able to say Polish names, but it is true. That is absolutely cool. Also, just the opportunity to pretend to drive a race car. and it is at a really high level, also especially from Witkowski, who has, put it on pole. I'm gonna have a look at the championship. He's currently sitting in P4 behind Illigner, Brabner, and Salmonen, and Illigner's not here. Why? He literally posted he posted a picture of his direct drive that had arrived like 2 hours ago or something, and he said, I hope I'm gonna get this ready for the race start. I have a feeling this means he did not. That's a shame.
Oh man.
So is Nick gonna defend P3 in the championship, but Chris may be able to finally insert himself into that championship battle that he has been removed from with a gap of 40 points so far. And he can maybe take some points off of Salmonen and Brabner, but only separated by 3 points. Fun fact as well, George has finished second in every race so far. In the 2 sprint races at Dalton Park and the long race at Kyalami, always second. Meanwhile, Salmonen first, fifth, first. So you can see where the consistency is, but you can also see where the pace is.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, that is quite a statistic. Ending up in second at the end of every race, it's not easy to do. So hopefully you can stick it to it and get a good result out there.
I just want to see how he does it from P6 on the grid this time. I mean, at Alton Park, he was he just kept getting those great starts and was fighting for P1 all race, and then always just about fell short. But this time he has quite the challenge to do. But one thing to mention, of course, we've only seen qualifying so far, and qualifying, it's just one lap. Well, it's not just one. You know what I mean. Just one lap counts. Meanwhile, in the race, you have to keep your car on track for 1 hour. But there's no guarantee the Ferraris can do that as well. On another note, can you check if the stream is actually running, by the way? I haven't,
yes, it is.
The audio is fine as well? And you can access everything? I'm just posting the links. Because I have not done that yet. Because I'm a very good commentator. Lol. So, we're posting this.
Yeah, so qualifying, in my opinion, I think it's very much more the driver's speed and the skill of the car and the driver together. But when it comes down to race, it's so much more about how consistent you are and how much you know your car and how much you are, one with the car. If you're not one with, you can slap a fast lap together if you're fast enough and if you don't know the car. But if you don't know your car, when it comes to this 1 hour race, you're not going to do well.
Absolutely. I mean, what's the saying? Is it like pace wins races and consistency wins championships or something? I mean, in my experience, it's certainly true. But,
yeah, definitely.
It's gonna be about who keeps a cool head as well. Just one little slip can be really hard to catch in the rain. And as you can see in the top right, it is going to get worse with time. And also one thing that I do not know, are the drivers all on wet tires? Because there might be some that thought dry tires would be better. So maybe it's like if someone's just gonna plummet at the race start, that might be the reason. Also, we've got Antoine is in the pit lane. No, it's Smelt. Why is he in the pit lane? I do not know. Whatever.
Yeah, hopefully we don't see a Valtteri Bottas move from the Hungarian Grand Prix, if any of you guys saw that.
Oh no! He has mentioned it.
That was bad, taking out half the grid.
It still stings. Anyways, so we've got a race start at our hands. Can Gareth Higgins take his first race lead in Pro Class, or will Chris Witkowski set himself up well for this? We go green and Paul Ricard, and it looks like a really good start from Witkowski. He was already car length ahead of Higgins, so he's just got that covered. Now Higgins is going to try and attack on the outside. In the background, Ansel and Ruben are fighting, and Ruben really finds the late braking. Ansel keeping it down to the inside line, and he's actually going to attack Higgins. No, Ruben taps Ansel into a spin. What a disaster. Brabner collects him, and Ansel is put all the way to the back. Brabner's gonna have some damage on his car, but it looks like he's relatively unscathed, and Ruben is likely gonna pick up a penalty. Oh man, that was not what I wanted to see, for sure.
that was crazy. It just, that shows how crazy lap 1 can be. It just, in a second, you can be running at the top of the grid and then spin out, someone accidentally bump you from behind.
Absolutely.
Brake too late, yeah.
Absolutely. We've got yellows in the background, though. The car number 18 is off. That's Jack Bedell. And here we see Chervinsky, who's certainly overestimated the grip he's gonna have on the kink onto the main straight. So now he's under threat from Samuel Chumley in the other Ferrari. They are teammates, and now they are gonna fight it out for P5. Also up front, Witkowski I think is under threat from Higgins. Never mind, it's Ruben. It's Ruben fighting with Higgins, and looks like Ruben's got the position.
And Chumley has gone ahead too. He has passed Chawinski too.
Yeah, nicely done from him. And George, even though he did collect Ansel, he finds himself in P4, and now it's P3 as he just lunges past Higgins. What grip, man! That was insane. So he's third already, slicing his way past everyone. And I mean, this is very early to say in the race because, you know, we haven't even done one lap. But Ruben is likely gonna get a penalty for that. So George already finding himself in a net P2. Meanwhile, his rival Salmonen has had an absolute nightmare. He's in P15. So big points lost there if he doesn't manage to claw back more in the latter stages of this race.
Definitely. This is definitely a very good start from Brabner's point of view. This is probably the most he could have asked for coming from, and there he is coming on at P3. He just overtook Higgins, and starting at P7. He's just climbing up the ranks, and it's only been one lap.
Absolutely. Now, what is Salmonen gonna do? He's in P14. He's behind Kessel, Strecker, Ben Loos. He's got so much ahead, and I don't know how well you can overtake in the rain at Paul Ricard. Normally it's a very easy track to overtake on. You just try and get 6 and 7 right, and then you get a good run onto the straight, take the slipstream, get the pass done. But in the rain, I don't know, probably not so much, and that could come back to bite Salmonen. And it is going to have to be a display of racecraft from him after bad qualifying and an even worse start.
Definitely, he's really going to have to keep his head steady. This is going to be a long 57 minutes for him. As he tries to, you know, take back those places that he lost at the beginning.
And now tucking in behind Kessel. Meanwhile, his teammate Chris Stricker is on the attack a little bit up ahead. He's fighting with Ben Loos in the McLaren then. It looks like he's getting that done. Now Salmonen is coming flying. Ben Loos actually not finding any straight line speed. That is Kessel on the attack. Now might he lose 2 positions on one straight. Side by side to Senior. I don't know if that's going to work in the rain. It actually does. Huge respect to both drivers here, but Ben Loos is off track a little bit, and now Salmonen on the inside, and it's one move done for Salmonen. 3 positions lost for Ben Loos. Oh man. So I guess I stand corrected when I was complaining that the rain would kill all the racing. The midfield seems to be in good shape.
Yeah. We definitely have we have a good front pack right now. A very
sorry
large
to
pack.
interrupt. Salmonen has made the move on Kessel. I did not even mention it because I thought he's never getting that done, but he somehow found the grip. So it's P4. It's P12 for him now. Go on.
I see P14 for Salmonen.
Yeah, it updates when it goes over the timing line.
Ah, okay.
It's I think the relative thingy updates faster, but that's just ACC being ACC.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, I think iRacing does that too.
Yeah, it does. It's quite annoying. It's the one thing F1 does that is convenient. And now let's look up front. So Chawinski has, in the meantime, lost another position to Veltman, and Veltman looks like he's trying to play cleanup crew with... Oh no, what happened? He's just half spun and has been T-boned, I think. That was some commentator's curse right there. It's, I'm gonna...
Yeah, Veldman and Travinsky. Was it Veldman that spun and Travinsky just T-boned him?
I'm gonna check the replay there. It's Chumley up ahead and Veldman behind him. Oh, Veldman just bonks into his rear. I think he just broke a little bit too late and then gets sideways, gets T-boned. So mistake out of Veldman, but he also pays the price, so that is fair, I guess. But yeah, I mean, that's just the mistakes that happen in the rain. And here comes Salmonen on his teammate. I wonder if there's gonna be any cooperation from Stricker. Yeah, it looks like it. So P11 for Salmonen now. The Dane and the Finn collaborating for once. That's not usually happening, but...
Yeah, De Silva in the McLaren has got 2 Bentleys right up on him. So it's definitely...
Oh, we've got yellows further down the grid. It's,
oh, do we?
40... I can't see, it's too many cars. So I actually don't know who it is, but I think like 40, 42 or 47. Yeah, it was Jijura in the 42 car, so he must have spun in senior. I mean, that's easy to
McCormick
do.
and Varignolo just almost had a
Oh,
little
absolute
bout
send
right
there, sorry. Ryan Noppen just sending it on Ben Lewis and somehow getting past, but now finding
Oh, and
himself...
McCormick's off.
Oh no! Wait.
Oh, he was able to catch it. He did start spinning, and he was able to catch it right at the last minute, and he almost hit who was that? He almost hit the guy right behind him.
Bedell probably, but now if... I mean, he's fighting this still, but I don't think there's a way for him to get past it. And he must be disappointed with himself as well. Oh! That was a really nice move, though. I think he's getting past Bedell. Almost runs into the guy heading into the pit lane. Yeah, but Pixel gets that move done. He must be annoyed with himself. He had a decent qualifying. He did grind out for this race for once, and something must have gone wrong at the start, because he's 26th now from 13th or something on the grid.
Yeah, and Varignolo is in the pits. I think he's got damage.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a very good stop in the pits either. He had to adjust himself.
Oh no. That always
Yeah.
feels terrible in this game. AC is a lot more lenient on that one.
Oh yeah.
It just takes whatever you do, but ACC, nope.
Yeah, you really gotta practice them.
Yeah, when I was still driving in Season 3, I used to literally get a reference point with the lollipop guy in comparison to my engine cover, as there was an engine cover down the inside of Chumley's trying to scare him off the apex of Senior, but he has held that one nicely. But Veltman will not give this up easily. I said Chumley, I meant Chevinsky, if I said Chumley.
Oh, Kessel's having a hard time going off the track right now, trying to battle with De Silva.
And he loses that position. That is for the silver class lead. I assume the name is Jose da Silva. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. But I'm not Spanish. I don't know how to say Spanish names or Mexican names or whatever. Just
I'm not either, but that sounds. I think that sounds right.
I'm just gonna go with that. If not, then I'm getting DM'd again, like always. Speaking of which, what's going on with Chmielewski? Oh, he's having a little bit of a nightmare for himself. I guess the rain does not. It's not too nice. But here we've got the proper train now, with Ben Loos, Ryan Noppen, and Jurien Visser. The three of them are in fights with each other. Visser in the 28 Bentley has made his way from the back of the grid. He never qualifies, by the way. He always does last to first. And he's in P17 now, and has got Noppen and Loos ahead of himself. And Veltman is fighting side by side with Chevinsky for P6. Onto the men's straight, they carry it alongside of each other, and there goes Oliver. He just tries to find the space there, and he does. Yep. He just kept it to the floor, and it goes past for a second, but now the Bentley's just not fast on the in the straight. I don't know what's going on there, but Oliver just losing all of it on the straight again.
Yeah, tucking in behind
Ansel.
Yeah.
Is Vald actually sending this? He was thinking about it. He was thinking about it. Hard of track for Ansel.
Yeah, a lot of this pack right here they've been fighting this whole time. They're just trying to get these positions, but yeah, none of them have really been able to make it stick. It's been kind of jumbled around like a bag of marbles this whole time.
Absolutely, and Ansel has to cover off Oliver. I think he's gonna be able to do this. And I just wonder when. I think it's a question of time when Veltman is gonna get past Chevinsky after that annoying mistake early on in the race. He seems to be a lot faster. He seems to almost drive circles around him, but doesn't complete the circle because he never gets past. So it's just always there and not past.
Yeah, I think he might just be looking for a more comfortable time to overtake, as we have been seeing a lot of people sending it, though. I'll be honest, in this rain, they gotta have some confidence.
You do need the confidence on the brakes for sure, and it's difficult because spots change a lot, and you don't really know how much you can lean on your car. In the meantime, up front, we haven't mentioned those guys in a while. We've got a Trigon Racing 1-2, the reigning Constructors Champions, as far as I'm aware, Witkowski and Van den Herding. And one of them, Van den Herding, is under threat from Brabner, who has been lurking there for quite some while. Is now going to tuck in on the main straight. It's funny as the idea of the Bentley tucking in behind any car is, but that just looks so menacing. He's
Bentley, big guy.
it's just an absolute boat. Should like the wet. Doesn't manage to put himself alongside though. I think the straight line of the Ferrari might be a little bit better, if not even Slipstream gets George alongside.
Yeah, I think Brabner's probably telling to himself right now, you know, I got 48 minutes. I've already, you know, stuck it in third right now, so there's no reason to rush to get ahead of these guys. Oh, and that was very. It looked like he was trying to go up on the inside right there of Van den Herding, but he thought otherwise of it, and yeah, he's tucked in right behind him right now too. He keeps taking a very different line than Van den Herding. So, yeah, I don't know why, but I mean, I'm sure he's got a reason.
That's probably, I mean, if I had to guess, then he's probably just hoping that Ruben has a little bit of a moment of oversteer or something, and then the offline means he can just get past. Now we've got another spinner that is, I think, yeah, Österholm out of senior. Let's have a look at that. How did that happen? He's in the safe part of the track. How do you spin here? Oh, well, it's the rain. I'm sorry. Of course. Yeah, it's just the rain that throws his car around, and we also saw McCormack almost doing the same there, so Busso really catching people out. And we've got a first pit stop. It's Philip Ansel. It's probably going to fix some damage as well on that one. Our first probably regular pit stop, I mean.
Mm.
And
so I'm curious if we're allowed to see what compound of tire they've chosen.
we're not. The game doesn't tell us, but I'm sure it's gonna be wets. I don't think there's a discussion right now about that, and the rain is just getting worse. So yeah, gambling there I don't think would be smart. You're not gonna do the Vettel here. Well, you could, but it wouldn't end up exactly like the Vettel.
Yeah, that hurt. That really did hurt. But you know, that's something these drivers just got to do and make a call. And if they get the call wrong, then they get the call wrong, and it's just a risk that they got to take. Something else with the rain is you have a quote unquote dry line that they take, and when you're trying to overtake someone in a wet race, you have to get off that dry line into the wet line. So it's gonna be more difficult if they're having slicks right now before they pit, because the rain's gonna get worse and worse, to get off that dry line into that wet, that marbly track. So yeah, I think we're gonna see a little bit more calming down of the overtaking in order to wait for their wet tires.
Yeah, certainly. I also don't know if that was another yellow, but I don't know who it was. We also got strategy is gonna be interesting. There's Veldman. He pits very early as well, and I wonder if that's just going for the undercut. I mean, these wets should make the entire race. There is a mandatory pit stop. There's a minimum pit time as well, and the question is just what does he take? Does he take new tires? With those tires, he could maybe get past Chavinsky, who's been stuck behind for quite some time now, and who has lost him a lot of time. So I think that's probably why Veldman is in the pits now.
Yeah, with these wet tracks, you really gotta listen to your tires, and if you feel them starting to, drop off in grip or anything like that, you gotta respond accordingly and make those decisions. Just like we've seen in the last two real Formula One races, it's very interesting to watch, what strategies different drivers take, because you'll see them take very different strategies. We see Veldman right now in the pits, and he's obviously trying to go change up, go for an undercut, and we'll see probably a few people staying out as much as they can before coming in.
Absolutely, and there's a mistake out of Van den Herding. Just as I look at him, he goes off track, and that opens the door for Brabner, and now he doesn't even need to worry about how he's gonna pass that guy. He just gifts it to him. So Brabner now finds himself second, and Witkowski's gonna look at that with dread. Now Brabner is unleashed. How much can he close the gap? Oof.
Yeah, maybe that's what Brabner's just been waiting for this whole time, is a mistake from Van den Herding. So, yeah, now he's hungry for first. I don't think he's going to settle for second, especially this early in the race.
Yeah, certainly everything's still possible. And with Salminen struggling his way through the midfield, Brabner winning here would be a huge deal for the championship. I mean, it is early on, but then again, this race counts for 1/8 of the championship points because it's a very short season. So, you know, it has big impact. Everything that happens here is big impact on the championship. And Chikeka finds himself off track in senior, but he is running P26, not having the best day. Paul Ricard in the rain is just treacherous.
Stricker, I think, just came out of the pits. I didn't notice that he went in, but I guess he completed his pit stop and he's out. Stricker?
Which one of the two?
Oh, we have two. The red one.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
So,
Sorry.
they also have so similar driver numbers, almost as if they intentionally wanted to confuse everyone. I'm actually confused about the one thing. I don't know why, but normally we see who has to do a pit stop, but it seems to not be there. There should still be mandatory pit stop, but it's really difficult to judge who still needs to pit. Also, Oliver and Salminen are fighting down the main straight right now, and they're going to approach senior side by side. Just Salminen has got the outside line, so I don't think there's a way for him to get past the Frenchman here. The Frenchman on home soil. Yeah, he takes a really wide line. That move is not on for Salminen, and how much work can Oliver do for his teammate? I mean, every second that Salmon is stuck behind Oliver is an advantage to Brabner in the championship, so Oliver could really be useful for his teammate here.
Definitely. That's one thing about motorsports when it comes to having teammates, because not all motorsports have a teammate. So a teammate can be very vital to the success of the team and the other teammate. So yeah, definitely, I think Oliver is definitely thinking, if I hold this guy back as much as possible, that'll give, my teammate Brabner a opportunity to, get more of a gap between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be in VC, and Antoine will tell him, hold him up, please, I need it. And Antoine, I'm sure, will try his best, but can he do something? As Salminen is not really finding the overspeed on the straight. It looks like if there was a move, he'd have to do it mostly on the brakes, or he'd have to scare Oliver into a mistake. Otherwise, that Bentley could become a big roadblock, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, that is something I was about to mention. Is he's not giving him any breathing room whatsoever. If you saw it, he was braking as close as possible to Oliver, and what he's trying to do is breathe down his neck and try to force him into messing up so that he could take advantage of that. Just like Brabner just waited for Van den Herding to make a mistake as well.
Yeah, we can't look there right now, but I just saw on the timing towers that Brabner and Van den Herding have swapped positions again, so there must have been a mistake out of George that we unfortunately missed, but now Salminen has an attempt as well. That was Chmielewski off track. Ignore that. Salminen tucked in to the slipstream. Can he find the inside line? How did they just crash on the straight? Oliver's off. Oh my god! That was massive! That was probably the biggest crash I've ever seen. What?
And Oliver is still... Oh, okay, he's finally moving.
We're gonna watch a replay. What in God's name was that? What?
And Van den Herding is
pit
breathing
maneuvers
down
him!
Witkowski's neck.
He just pit maneuvered him straight into the wall, and Oliver's on the roof.
Whoa! Yeah, wow. That was a roll and everything. That was ridiculous. He's got damage. You can see his rear bumper is hanging on by a thread.
That was an annihilation, and I'm afraid that's probably not gonna go down well with the race
right
stewards.
Into the wall.
Oh man,
that is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Antoine's car is completely undrivable after that. That is huge damage. He's gonna have to retire, and I'm sure Salmon will get a fat penalty for that. And also fat time penalties, so Oh man, this is, I mean, this could be a field day for George. He just needs to get past the 2 Ferraris ahead of him to really maximize the points haul. He'll know that Salmon is in big trouble with the FIA after that.
And Van de Hutting is also, he's breathing down with Witkowski's neck now with less than a second consistently behind him. I guess Van de Hutting has found a second wind, and Brabner is staying comfortably behind, probably just in case they take each other out. But yeah, I wonder if they're gonna, Witkowski and Van Hutting are gonna fight.
Yeah, it's always a big question. Let me have a look at the championship standings actually to see. Oh, probably a bad time. There's a move from Ruben. Puts himself to the inside, I think. Witkowski just never mind. Okay, Ruben tucks in behind, so he's not really contesting this. I thought that move was on, but apparently it wasn't. Yeah, Chris needs to get it together unless he just wants to.
Oh, Van Hutting is trying. He's pushing him more,
yeah,
and he has made it stick.
He has got him. So swap for the lead, and both of them. I've noticed that. I've gone off track quite a lot, and I wonder if we need to watch out for drive-through penalties. Because if you catch 4 warnings in this game, then you get a drive-through penalty. Maybe it is more lenient in the rain, though, because you're slow, so it doesn't register. That's possible, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some drive-throughs later in the race.
Yeah, and we are seeing Van de Hutting. He had a slight oversteer moment. He was able to correct
Oh, there's
it,
a bunk! There's a bunk between Da Silva and McCormack. They're fighting over P14 there, as Da Silva defends his position, and McCormack's not going to be happy about that. He was just, you know, body checked in the braking zone. The 2 McLarens fighting over P14 there. Rough. Sorry, you were saying?
Oh no, that's fine. I don't remember what I was saying actually.
That's fine. So, yeah, in silver class in the meantime, the leader is now Bas Kessel, and it looks like he's found quite a big gap to Noppen and Loos. And yeah, they've been fighting for quite a long time now, and I think there's another development in that fight as Kessel, no, Noppen makes a proper hash of the final corner, and now Loos, on his way past, is probably gonna clear the Bentley. Does exactly so. Nicely done from him. P2 in class now for him. Let me have a look at
Silva. Oh, okay. I thought I saw him coming out of the pits, but I guess not.
Okay. Let me have a look at the standings. Oh, George is pitting.
Oh, McCormick and De Silva are side by side, and it looks like I can't tell yet. No.
McCormack on the
inside. Oh, there they are. McCormick has made it stick.
Oh, and he goes a little bit deep, but that is actually really nice in that corner, so well done to him. Gets P14 for his efforts. I kind of counted him out after whatever happened on lap 1, but within 25 minutes of this race, he's been able to recover almost 13 positions, so brilliant effort from him. Just needs to keep it on track consistently until the end of the race if he wants the result.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just looking. Biddle's also in the pits. I don't know if he's got an issue or if he's just doing a regular pit stop. It looks like he's not moving though, so that could be interesting. Olive's coming out of the pits.
Oh, so he's gonna continue driving.
Yeah.
That is dedication, probably for the local French fans. Or something like that, I don't know. There's, you know, some laps around the French parking lot in the rain.
Yeah, that's you know, some dedication from Olive after that massive crash.
Yeah, a normal driver would be in the hospital. He's on the track. It's
yeah, I guess he's just made of something different.
This man's built different. Yeah. About the top 2, I'm not quite sure how this is going to develop. I don't think the traffic should get in their way, but they are at risk of being undercut by Brabner, and if Brabner just manages to get both of them in the pit lane and already Paul Ricard, that would be a disaster. Also, wait, Chris is ahead of Ruben again. Man, these drivers keep swapping positions while we're not looking. So there's likely a time loss by Ruben, and that likely means that this move is on for George on the undercut. Like, he just needs to find a clear patch of track, and I think he's done that. He's only Well, he's got 1.5 seconds and then it's Smelt ahead of him.
Yeah, if he can clear him on the fresher tires, then he's got a decent sized gap ahead of him. I mean, with the amount of cars that are on track, there's not really a good sized gap you could probably find, but it's the best that you can find. Although, speaking of which, kind of contradicts me. If you see the lead group, in front of the lead group, there's basically nothing. So, I guess you can find a decent sized gap.
I just need to get past this McLaren, but now there's the cover, the covering off.
Witkowski's in
Exactly.
the pits.
It's gonna try and cover off Brabner. I think he stayed out for like 2 laps, and that might actually be a sweet spot. I haven't raced in the rain for about a year, but I think the tires take some time to heat up. So if that is the case, then maybe Brabner's tires were cold for those 2 laps. Now they're slowly warming up, and exactly then Chris is gonna pit to make sure that he's still ahead. So maybe he played that one well. We'll just have to wait and find out where is George on the minimap. I'm trying to find him, but the drivers are too close, so we can't see the driver numbers. But George is the number 31 car. So.
Yeah, he's currently P17.
Yeah, and he's getting helped by Smelt. Getting helped by Smelt, and that fight is on. That is for position. But
yeah, he's blinking him too.
Yeah, he's not happy, for sure. But, well, we're gonna see.
Standing right on his tail.
I mean, he sets him up well. I think he should get that move done, but the Lexus is really good in the rain and is also really good on the straight. Very close, but yeah, wait, where's Chris? Where's Witkowski? Well,
he's P5 right now.
That was some terrible camera work from me, I'm sorry. They just about get ahead of him, and that means that George is probably in the net lead of this race. He just needs to safely pass Jasper Smelt here without Witkowski getting the move on him. He sticks his nose... Well, he shows his nose on the inside, really late braking for Chris on the outside. Can he actually make that one stick? He might force himself onto the apex for turn 4 there, and he does so. A little bit of a body check. Now Brabner holds the inside line. He's gonna squeeze his rival wide, and onto the curb goes Chris. It's just about not any contact, and Smelt must be having an absolute laugh looking in his rearview mirror because there's some spectacular action here, but I think George wins out in that brilliant side-by-side racing between the two of them.
That was spectacular. You couldn't have asked for a more interesting way to enter the track back with Witkowski coming in. That was quite a interesting fight. And
does he get back at him?
Smelt right in front of him.
Does he get back at him? I think he's certainly trying. He's just getting the straight line speed. Where is the Ferrari straight line speed coming from? That's an absolute rocket ship there. He just goes past Brabner, and that means the undercut attempt of the young Brit has basically been for nothing. And now there's a missed apex by Smelt, and Witkowski gets past, but does Brabner get past? I do not think so. So maximum unlucky for Brabner. Now he finds the
Brabner
outside.
Is coming in.
Oh no! He
Brabner's
gets punted! Oh! What a tragedy for the Brit! That was so sad. Okay, well, I'm gonna look at the replay of that. That was...
Yeah, see who did he make contact with?
Smelt. So he's gonna try and break really deep into this, but kinda goes in the way of Smelt there, because, I don't even think that's, like, specifically anyone's fault. I think that's just racing, but, certainly unlucky for George.
It looked like Smelt just kind of tapped him with the front of his car as he was being overtaken. I think he might have been trying to adjust his racing line.
Yep. Hello to Felix in chat, by the way. He's our season 5 drivers champion. He has unfortunately left us, but he's in the stream chat right now. So hey Felix, hope you're enjoying your stay, and I hope you will miss Tour Sarel in very soon future, so we can see you on track again. Okay. No? Oh. That's sad. Okay. So, and the 57 resets into the pit lane, so I think that someone has just given up on live. What? That was Chavinsky! He was in such good shape. Why does he just retire? He was 7. We've lost Chavinsky. Yeah, now I'm sad. Sounded really enthusiastic when I listened to him during practice earlier. And that is Visser on screen getting past Noppen. He's just continuing the grind through the grid, the last two X challenge in silver class. And he probably gets that move done and a little bit ahead. Oh yeah, they are still fighting side by side? No, okay. Okay, Noppen doesn't find the grip. I was getting excited there for a second. And McCormack and Lowe's are fighting. I thought that was a lapped car, but it is actually Pixel just going wheel to wheel. No, it's Jacoli. Man, I'm getting these names mixed up now too. It's too many drivers, man. Can we go back to the times when we only had 20 attendance? That was so nice.
We do have a bit of a train right in the center of the grid.
And we got Terra and Vito in chat as well. Vito saying that game put him on slicks, and that just hurts. Vito is Chavinsky, so that is why he retired, and I understand that. I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to limp around the track for one lap only to then do another pit stop. So yeah, I fully understand that. That sucks. That's a big shame.
That is unfortunate. I have had a situation where I joined an ACC race and had my force feedback just non-existent, just turned off, and so I tried resetting my wheelbase and it just completely disconnected from the game and wouldn't reconnect. So yeah, ACC, sometimes it can be a little unkind to people.
Ignore that replay I did there. That was I thought that Salmon had just passed Ansel off screen, but he hasn't. So Salmon is past here. He's in P7 now. And I don't think anyone ahead. Jensen needs to pit. But the others shouldn't need to pit anymore. So Salmon is in a net P6 before penalties.
Baskessel just coming out of the pits. And I think... oh, who's the other one in the pits? We are seeing a bit more pit stops coming up.
I think so.
And we are a little bit more than halfway through the race at this point. So that does make sense.
Yeah, Vito is sad after that. Car felt really good for him. Especially in the rain, if your car feels good and then you're not getting rewarded with points, that feels terrible. So my heart goes out to him. Up front now, Jensen pits, which means that we are gonna get Ruben into the lead of this race. And honestly, who can stop him at this point? I mean, Witkowski seems like he's just a little bit off today compared to Ruben, and Brabner after that hit has a lot of recovering to do.
Definitely. At this point, I think Brabner is one lap behind Witkowski, and we have Jensen in the front right now, provisionally, because I don't think Jensen is pit.
Yeah, Jensen is in the pits right now, and the timing boards are probably bugged, because Brabner is 4th, I'm pretty sure. He's right behind Chris, but, well, right behind 5 seconds. So
okay.
That's the timings. It's fine. They do weird stuff. I wonder how wet this is gonna get. I'm not quite sure how the logos, or like how the how do you say, icons is the word, work in the top right corner, but it like is going to increase to a rainfall that looks absolutely torrential. So I don't know if the track is gonna get even, like, how much worse it is gonna get than this, and if the drivers are gonna be able to cope with it. That could certainly give us some surprises in the last laps of this race.
Definitely, and just, the longer we go, the more it just gets tricky, just inevitably over the course of the race. Not only because the conditions are getting worse, but your the condition of the car itself just changes dynamically the entire time. Your tires are gonna slowly lose their tread and slowly lose their grip, and the drivers have to know how to accommodate for that.
Ooh, there's a fight going on there with. Who's that? Noppen and Da Silva in silver class. That is for P5, and Pixel is right behind them as well. So that's a 3-way clash between those. And now Noppen is a little bit off track, doesn't find the grip there, and is gonna get swamped by one car. Pixel puts himself alongside, but can't go past. That would have ended in a collision, but he thinks better of it and opts out. Now, but I think he got a really good run through the little kink onto the straight, tucked into the slipstream. The McLaren, can he get the position? This is for P16 with Ryan Noppen. And just waiting for this incredibly long straight to end. You could probably, refill your water, have a little bit of a drink, and then come back to see Pixel on the inside. And it looks like he's just going to get that move done unless Noppen holds out on the outside. He does not. He goes way off. So
yeah, he went really wide. And we did see De Silva go wide before at the beginning of the straight, that last turn. He went a little wide. He had a little bit of oversteer. But yeah, honestly, contradicting you, I would say you might not want to try and get a drink during the straight, because we've already seen what can happen right in the middle of the straight. Someone, getting hit maneuvered and airborne, actually.
Oh no!
Turning into a landing strip.
Yeah. Antoine probably arrived from getting a drink and was like, why is my car upside down? What happened here? It's been a rude awakening. I just jammed my throttle. How could it go wrong? And this is that is Visser fighting with Ben Lewis. So Visser on his way onto the podium from the last position in silver class. Of course, silver class drivers have their own classification. So when I say silver class podium, I mean P13 right now, because it's Kessel, Lewis, and then Giacolli, and then Visser. Getting these McLarens mixed up. We have so many green McLarens.
Do we? Oh yeah, we do.
All green.
I guess green is a popular McLaren color.
Oh, around the outside is Pixel. He's gonna go really wide. Does he find the grip? I think he got a little bit sideways, and now
The Silva's way off.
wait, where's the Silva? He's just in the wall! I did not see that one coming, so Pixel gets the position just by staying on track here, but he might just lose one right off the bat again, as Noppen is looking to take revenge for last lap. He will probably get his nose ahead into Senior, unless he gets out-dragged by the McLaren. He does! The McLaren's fast on the straight line, so Pixel is gonna keep that position, barring a major fuck-up in Senior.
De Silva dropping way down to the order. I don't know if he forgot, where he was, or...
Easy to do on this track, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Noppen, he finds the inside line and just goes past Pixel, who's way too deep. And now he has to maybe even defend from Betch in the pink Ferrari. Pixel misses another apex in a row, so he's in trouble, man. This rain is not letting anyone off the hook easy. It's quite bad.
Yeah, definitely not.
Up front.
Yeah, we're seeing it. We're seeing a lot of people, going wide, going off, missing apexes. And we see Noppen right now went way wide. Yeah. So that compromises his entire straight. So let's see if we see McCormick coming back on him. And he is going to try and outbrake him.
Oh, can he do it? They're so close. There's no margin for error here, but I think Pixel might just get that one done. He forces him off at the exit. There was certainly contact. And there's Betch. He's going to go through probably, as the other two certainly lost their amount of time in that. And Noppen rejoin out of Pixel. So I don't know if that was good. He was off track fully, and now Pixel goes a little bit deep in the corner. And Noppen still up, and this fight just doesn't end, and it's got Antoine Olivier holding the camera in his multiple times lapped Bentley that's still somehow running, as we get another moment of side-by-side driving through this little left-hander here, where it's so hard to keep it flat out on the straight, and that is exactly why Pixel runs fully off track here. And now Betch inserts himself into that fight, says thank you very much, and he's gonna take Noppen, but probably only him. Oh, is Antoine unlapping himself? Oh, that's spicy. Oh, man. Is he unlapping himself?
He's definitely trying. I don't know how many rolls of duct tape it took them to put the car back together, but he's definitely not taking it easy.
Yeah. And So that was some great fighting. I'm really impressed by our midfield that they managed to keep it clean even in the rain at Paul Ricard. So good stuff from them. A little bit of a look at the front of the grid. So we've got Ruben 1.4 seconds ahead of Chris. So I think Chris is just objectively faster now. And then it's 6 seconds to George. He's not really getting the pace down. I think he's dropping from the top 2 after that. After that little off he had, maybe that killed a set of tires or gave him damage, so he's falling off that back. Then Higgins, in a little bit of a vacuum, just running in 4th, probably would be his best result of his career so far, so he can't complain. And then Ansel, after getting taken out on lap 1, he finds himself in P5 somehow, so really good stuff from him. And then it's Chumley, Stricker, Veltman. Chumley, Veltman, and Salmonen behind the 2 of them, but he's just not finding the way past. Good thing for him is there's a huge gap behind him, so even if he gets a fat penalty for the pit maneuver, you know, he probably keeps top 10 going, and Brabner is likely not going to win. So it's not disastrous for him, but it's certainly not what he wanted out of this race.
Definitely. He did seem to have a good amount of pace trying to overtake at the beginning, but it seems to have calmed down a little bit. I think now that these gaps are, you know, massive gaps in some case between the drivers, it's definitely a lot harder to pick up the pace and try and overtake these guys, especially since they're all, you know, hungry to get their, you know, one person's trying to overtake the next person, that next person's also overtaking as well as defending, so it's very interesting fights going on.
Certainly. Now it looks like Pixel has finally managed to make a break, and then it's Betch and Noppin. So probably something happened to Noppin here that puts him at the back of this queue, and I think that's gonna de-escalate the fighting they were having. Well, that's sad. I wanted to see more of it, but it's probably good for the drivers, you know, because it must have been very stressful. And speaking of things that are stressful, having a neon yellow rear mirror is what Chumley has right now, because that Mercedes, you know, is filling all of it. He's it's just a big yellow thing there, and he wants to get past. Yeah. And I think Veltman has been trying to get past those Ferraris for the entirety of his race. Is he finally gonna get it done on Chumley?
Yeah, these liveries can be quite crazy. I think we saw a pink, what was that, a pink Ferrari earlier before of, I think, Higgins?
That was Betch.
Oh, no. Betch, yeah. These, a lot of pretty wild colors.
Yeah,
so, I wonder if that's strategy, maybe.
For sure. Veld is certainly committed to this. He literally recreated it for the Indycars in AC. Like, he's got the race taxi there as well, and AMG sponsorship and everything, so he's found home, I guess.
That is awesome. That's awesome. You know, you stick with a brand, and you gotta, yeah. That's Veldman's identity.
Absolutely. And now the top 2, the Trigon Racing cars, they look set for a 1-2. That was a major jinx, but, you know, I don't care. They look set for a 1-2 at this point in time with 1/4 of the race still to go, but they are not... you know, they don't agree on who should lead that 1-2, as Ruben is certainly making some mistakes, and that could open the door for his teammate to try and find his way past now into turn 3, and he just makes that one stick. Well done for Chris. He saw the mistake and he instantly goes past, and now we've got a new race leader. Chris Witkowski from pole comes back after a little bit of a mistake around the pit stops and getting behind Radner and all that jazz. He's now back ahead of his teammate and well clear of Brabham as well, so that should probably be secured, unless funny things happen in the future, in the coming 15 minutes. That's how English works.
Yeah.
And but it could always happen. Paul Ricard in the rain.
Yeah, it's interesting. We just watched Chris overtake Ruben, but their teammates. I think something to note there was how they overtook, or how Chris overtook Ruben, because it was a very, very safe. The risk factor for that overtake was very low, and Ruben just going way wide.
Ooh. I don't know if he's happy with this. I mean, they seem to be somewhat cooperative, but Ruben certainly still showing his presence. He's not just letting this one slip. He wants to win for sure. But I don't know if he has the pace for that today. And that mistake robbed him of the ability to just park the bus and win it on defense. Now he has to play the offense.
Definitely.
Oh, Ansel is under threat from Chumley, and they're gonna run side by side to Senior after the Mistral straight, and Ansel goes way wide, so does Veldman, and they need to be careful if they don't want any warnings now into Bousseau, and it is Chumley on the inside line on Ansel. I don't think Ansel can take this
Ansel's,
corner. Yeah, he's losing that one. He's down to 6th now, and Veldman not able to follow through. So
he's very lucky Veldman didn't slip on in as well, because a lot of times, someone gonna stick their nose in the side and they're usually followed by another person. So a lot of times we see double overtakes, and Ansel was able to prevent that from defending against Veldman. So that's good on Ansel, but not too good for Veldman.
He certainly wanted that, and Ansel still shows himself combative as he has a little bit of a look into the final corner, but they might have compromised his exit a little bit, and now we get a 4-man train onto that straight. Veldman looking to the inside in that bright Mercedes.
Veldman's gonna try to go inside.
Yeah, but Ansel's got the slipstream of Chumley, so he might be able to defend this, and he needs to leave some space on the inside line now. Veldman getting his nose ahead on the outside, but the next turn is a right-hander. That would favor Ansel under normal conditions, but the Mercedes just outdoes him on the straight, and nice fight. And Veldman gets the position. Oh man, I thought he was going to run into his back. Salmon looks interested.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Veldman just stuck with it, the bravery, should I say, of Veldman, sticking with it, not backing off at all. And Ansel did a really good job of giving him some room on the side, not too much, but just enough to make it, legal. And Veldman just, not holding anything back. And now we see Veldman.
Oh, Salmonen. You know what you have done wrong last time. Please don't do it again. I think he just gets that move done on Ansel. Also, Veldman trying to attack Chumley once more. We've seen this so often in this race, and Veldman goes really deep, but I think he can just about catch it. No, he goes off track, so that is probably not the position for him. Yeah, Chumley's gonna keep that unless... Oh, Chumley just breaks really early into Bousseau there.
Yeah,
and I think he loses
almost
the
like
position.
he gave it to him.
Yeah, he just gave it to him. I don't know what that was. And also Salmonen got the... position on Ansel, so 3 positions lost for Ansel within the span of 1 lap. And can he go further? I mean, we've seen Salmon be maybe a little bit too aggressive in this race. And how worried is Chumley gonna be? He seemed very defensive in that fight with Veldman, but Veldman just overshoots and undoes the work he has done earlier in this lap and might fall into the close of Salmonen and Ansel as well. So Chumley is through for sure, and now Ansel and Salmonen are in a little bit of a drag race with each other again after Salmonen got held up by Veldman on the apex there. I think Salmonen gets it though. Yeah, he does. So P7 to Salmonen. Some good fighting there in the rain.
Yeah, definitely. I think we need another thing we gotta keep our eyes on is the
Betch had an off. We're looking at a replay into the double right, going into sector 3, and oh no, it just goes. It just goes. That feels bad. Going back to
so yes.
Go on.
Something we need to keep our eyes on is the relative from Brabner to...
Oh, Chumley spins! How did that happen? He just goes round in the little king to the main straight, and now he's facing the wrong way. That was a nice drift, but it was not fast, let me tell you that. And it's down to P8 for him, and well, I mean, what can I say about that? That's just sad. Let's have a little bit of a look. Oh, the onboard. I caught that one late, but yeah, I mean, it's difficult. Offs like this really make it even more impressive that there are so many drivers who just manage to stay on track the entire race without a single half spin or anything. If it's this easy to throw your car away, staying on track is even more impressive.
Definitely. I mean, on a dry circuit, you're not really thinking as much, oh, am I gonna slide over on this turn or anything like that. You're just thinking, I need to attack, I need to defend. But here, I mean, it's a whole other variable that you need to consider, and it's just something that's always got to be on the back of your mind when you're racing, is that you need to just keep it on the circuit, you know,
Certainly.
along with the attacking and defending. And yeah, we need to see, just, you know, every now and then, see how Brabner is seeing if he's catching up or staying the same with Van de Hutting, because Van de Hutting is, you know, 0.6 behind Witkowski. He's there, he's right on his tail, but Brabner, he's got 10 seconds. It looks like he's falling away, actually.
Yeah, he's falling towards Higgins even, but I think he's gonna be fine because there's only 10 minutes left in this race. That's about 5 laps, I would say. So Brabner is probably gonna be fine, but it won't be more than P3 in the top 2. It looks like Ruben has been able to stabilize himself a little bit after that. You know, after the rough time he had when Witkowski overtook him, and now he has not really had any major offs, but I don't think he has the pace to actually attack and get past on his own. So he needs to hope for the mistake out of Chris, but if that mistake happens, he's certainly close enough. Only 7/10. Oh, just as I say, that brilliant commentator's curse. Ruben slides off track a little bit, but it wasn't too big.
Yeah, it's definitely, I'm curious as to what's going on in their VC right now, if they're talking about this or if they're just kind of staying quiet.
I don't think they are in VC. I think the only team that really try hard VCs that I know of is the Bentleys of Oliver and Brabner. I think the rest are just in the big voice chat, but I don't know
Okay.
either. It's actually Ruben never comes on voice chat. I don't know what that's about, but I don't think he's ever talked to people here. And Da Silva has had an off. He was fighting well earlier in this race and now went off in turn 1. Just ahead of the leaders. Hopefully he's gonna get out of the way there safely, because we do enforce blue flag rules. Unlike real GT3 World Challenge, and he crashes with Ruben. What was that? Oh no! Oh man!
Silva off.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
but
his day, I don't think his day could get much worse right now. I mean,
yeah.
the thing is you lose so much confidence when you have a big off, and it just leads to more and more. If you can't just kind of snap your head out of it, it's a race ruiner.
Yeah, and that almost ruined another guy's race there, Ruben, running straight into the back of the lapped car, but I think he's fine. If he's not, then it's damage, because he didn't spin. It's not gonna feel good though. He's probably fine. He's got a 10-second gap to George. .47 is off. Yeah. Marvin Betch having another little bit of a field trip off the road, and Remolton as well. It's amazing how many drivers just casually, you know, slide a little bit wide on Paul Ricard. It's not that punishing, is it?
Yeah, definitely not. It's got a lot of open runaways. There's something that I don't think ACC simulates on Paul Ricard is, in real life, those stripes, the red ones and the blue ones, they actually have a purpose. They, depending on the stripe, they are, how do I say this? They're gritty, almost like sandpaper. So they're supposed to slow down the car, but effectively what they do to the drivers is shred the heck out of their tires. And so usually in real racing here in France, if you go off, you destroy your set of tires effectively.
Yeah.
Which it'd be cool if they simulated that here, but we would be a lot more pitting.
I think about 20 drivers would disagree with you, but certainly have a point. I mean, it is mostly been used as a test track in like the last 10 years, and of course if you're a manufacturer and you just want to test your car, you don't want it to die, so that's why the barriers are just so incredibly far away from the track, because it's very safe, and exactly like you say, the high friction you get from the colored stripes are gonna try to make sure your car does not hit the wall. For the car to hit the wall, you'd need something crazy, like a pit maneuver, for example. I don't know.
On a straight. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a shame. And now Betch is not getting out of the way of Witkowski. I am really hoping these back markers have got the memo. Looks
Yeah,
like they
and
haven't.
I don't know if De Silva has damage, but he's taking a very long time in the pits. And it looks like he has been released. Yep. Okay, he is coming out, but he took a very long time in the pits.
Oh man, it was another tap between Ruben and a back marker as Betch rejoined the track there. And Ruben got a little bit into a fight with him. It was, yeah, the back markers are not really playing by the playbook today. It's uncomfortable. And in Silver Class, we haven't mentioned them in a while. Kessel is just... Well, he's not comfortably leading, but he's leading from Ben Loos, the Lexus ahead of the McLaren. And then there's a huge gap to Visser. I think it's 18 seconds or something. Who is... I mean, Visser is on the podium after starting last right now. And then it's Giacolli and... well, McCormack is not Silver Class, he's reserve. So he doesn't qualify for that, but he's still in that fight. So there are two nice battles going on for Silver Class. Basically every time the main race kind of disappoints, which I don't think it does here, but every time it disappoints, you can always be sure that Silver Class is gonna deliver a crazy fight, and the battle groups here kind of back that up today.
Definitely, yeah. We're seeing, you know, Visser, Colley, you know, McCormack, all of them. They're very hungry. Then we're seeing a lot of people, just like Colley, thinking he was gonna send it, but thought otherwise. You know, this rain isn't stopping them from trying to make moves, especially in this Silver Class. This Silver Class has really been shaken up a lot throughout this race.
Absolutely not. Now he tries to take a very tight line there, and maybe if Visser gets all sideways on the exit, no. But that opens him up to McCormack, and he just takes the position there. So Pixel very much spotted the weakness there and takes the position up to P14. It is nice recovery drive from him. Now the question is, can he take on Visser as well? And well, we'll get our answer in the next 2 laps, because this race is almost over, and that oh no!
Spun!
Oh, come on, man!
Colley has touched him right on the rear. Coming into the turn, I guess he, you know, wasn't trail braking as much, or maybe he had a bad line, but he spun around McCormack. McCormack probably spun about halfway before he was able to recover. But yeah, I think he's out of contention of improving too much, because we have 2 minutes left in the race.
Yeah, I just we had the replay on screen. I think that I think that Giacolli just broke too late. There's a meme here. If someone needs to watch the Aris video, it's the video of Aris drive how to follow another car, where, you know, you have to brake earlier when there's a car ahead of you. And I think that video gets sent to everyone who has an incident like that. I think Giacolli is gonna be sent the video. Chumley just spins. What was that? He just throws it away.
Oh!
But he's fine, because there's no one close. Romse is way adrift, so Chumley doesn't lose a position, and that's still very curious there. A little bit of a pirouette. Man. Okay, 1 lap to go. Our leaders are on the final lap, I think. They should be, yeah. And Veldman is just about ahead of Ansel, but I don't think there's going to be a change of positions there. The top 2 also seem like they are settled. What's going on in Silver Class? Yeah, Loos is just 1 second behind Kessel. He'd need a mistake. And, well, the Giacolli-McCormack fight has forcefully been ended before our eyes 1 lap ago.
I think for the most part, if we're seeing any action for the last lap, it's probably going to be with Veldman and Ansel, because Ansel is half a second behind Veldman.
Absolutely, and 1 sector to go. I'm really tempting fate here. 1 sector to go for Witkowski and Ruben for another, I believe, Trigon 1-2. I think they've done it last season as well, but they could really be on for something here. Also,
should I curse it more? Let's say, I think we'll have a very safe rest of the race.
I think. Nah, let's be nice. Also, I don't think anyone is going to happen. Right? I mean, the gap is big enough. It's 16 seconds. Even if they spin now, they're gonna be fine. So I think we can celebrate this on their behalf. Chris Witkowski's gonna win his first race of the season. He's been 4th in the standings so far. Hasn't really had much to do with the championship fight, but he comes back with a brilliant race in a rainy Paul Ricard and wins the race ahead of his teammate Ruben van den Herding. Brilliant drive from him as well. And then there's a big gap to George Brabner, who has been quite unlucky
side
today.
by side.
Wait, Veld and Ansel?
Sorry, Witkowski and Van de Hutting are side by side right now. I guess they're having a little celebration.
Yeah, tandem driving, and Brabner comes across very unlucky today. Didn't manage to maximize this race, but he's still going to be happy because Salmon had an absolute shocker. And Higgins gets his probably best result of his career so far, P4. And then Veldman saves himself across the line for a P5 at a Philip Ansel, so well done to both of them. Then Janne Salminen, that was not what you want when you want to win a championship. You can't really have races like that. I'm sure the FIA will have a solid word with him, but the gap behind him is huge because of Chumley's spin, so maybe he's fine. There goes Chumley, he's P8 with a gap of, how many seconds? I guess like 13 seconds to Janne Salminen. Then Romse comes home P9. Chris will be 10th. He's had a little bit of an uneventful race. And then Silver Class, Silver Class drivers come across. Bas Kessel wins the Silver Class race out of Ben Loos, and then it's gonna be Jurien Visser, but Visser is quite away from the finish line.
Yeah, McCormick really dropped down right at the last second. It looks like Witkowski and Ruben are just having a fun time playing bumper cars right now.
Yeah.
And it looks like Ansel and Veldman are also in on it too. But yeah, what an exciting race. It just, when you thought it was starting to get a little bit more comfortable, something would come around. Ansel taking the attention at the beginning with that spin. And, we saw the the pit maneuver on the straight completely wrecking that, was it the Bentley?
Yep.
That was pretty wild.
Absolutely wild race. I mean, I was dreading Paul Ricard in the rain, but I guess, Paul Ricard works even in the rain. It's just that good of a track. People should start liking it. And we'll force everyone to like Paul Ricard. But it's been really nice, and we also had a different winner once again. Well, we've had 3 winners over 4 races in this season. And Witkowski puts himself on that list. Brabner still without a win here, but I'm sure his time will come. Can't always be this unlucky. It was nice. I think that wraps it up. Thanks to the guy in chat for watching. Thanks to you, John, for being in the commentary. It was good fun. And thanks to the drivers for giving us an